this.
I forgot to put music on this. We're going to have to sing a theme song for us. You ready?
No.
It's season 2 of So I Married a Geek. We're live. We're going to go live. You don't want to sing a theme song with me?
I don't spontaneously break into song like a musical.
Oh, bitch. You do later this week.
Uh-huh.
Let's go ahead and get the show started. Bam! Aha! Hi, everyone. Welcome to Season 2 Kickoff Live of So I Married a Geek. This is a show where we invite you into our lives. I'm Gavin, and this is...
Do I get to be Phil this time?
You get to be Phil this time. Don't spoil the rest of the week.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
We decided to kick off the show, the Season 2 live. We did film shows for the rest of the week, which is... It's something. We go down quite a few paths this week that are... like most of our shows, things go off into a tangent. And there was a lot of tangents this week. So you'll have fun watching them. But we're happy to be here with you guys as we're a little delayed on Season 2. We've just had a lot going on in our lives. As you can see, I moved things around in the living room. The couch isn't here anymore. It's over there. The dog is perfectly happy with it. I
love how you're like, we've had a lot going on in our lives. I rearranged the living room.
I did. I rearranged the living room.
You said it like you stood up at an AA meeting. You're like, I'm Gavin, and I'm a compulsive rearranger.
I should, because I rearrange often, and it drives them crazy.
It does, because I like stability. I like for things to be where they're supposed to be. I like patterns. What I see as like a groove, you see as a rut.
It's not just that. It's that our couch is really low, and it was getting really hard for me to get up out of it. And it makes me sound old because I'm getting there, and I needed to do higher things, and I wanted to... eventually want to get us these two chairs for here that, they have the headrests and things that move. So I went ahead and just preemptively moved around just to get used to the living room that way. Like I said, dog had a little bit of a time adjusting to it, but she did.
Yeah, and now that is her sofa.
Yeah, she's no longer worried about being on camera. She's just, I'm on my pillow fort. Don't look at me. Don't judge me. I'm not here.
And when she doesn't want you to look at her, she'll arrange the pillows on the sofa and get behind them so that we have to actually look for her.
Yeah. He's always, where's the dog? She won't move. She'll hide behind those pillows. So, hey, it's been a few months. We've had a very rough couple of months. Just financially wise, we kind of went into a hole for a bit. Some medical bills came in and just really started wiping everything out to the point that we didn't know how we were going to get through the month. And it got real hard until I decided...
Thank God Gavin grabbed a bag of lollipops and fishnet hose and went to the corner and made shit shake. Had magic mouth to work.
We used to have separate accounts, and it wasn't because we didn't trust each other. It was just because we just trusted each other,
We never merged our finances.
And so we just merged into my account, and I've got a new budget with everything going forward, and we're getting back on track, but it came out of nowhere for me. Like, I honestly didn't see it coming, because I'm always thinking, okay, these things are done, because I handle my bills very differently than Phil handled his.
I have the I Love Lucy method where you throw them in the air and whatever lands face up, that's what gets paid.
And I have a spreadsheet with everything that goes everywhere. I know where it's going. I put money on my credit cards. My bills come off credit cards. They're done. Oh, I know how much I have left. Well, I had to, because I don't come from a financially literate family. Let's be real honest. My parents were the same way. My mom was the I Love Lucy method. Don't know if anything got paid or not. My dad used to argue with her, and she'd go pull like a gun out of the car and be like, look, I bought you a gun like months ago. Here you go. And he'd be happy. So I didn't come from that.
Only in your family is it like, oh shit, he found out I didn't pay the bills. Let me go get that gun I bought him out of the car.
So it was really, really rough, because it came around birthdays. It almost came around anniversaries. And, it just, a lot changed. We had to really change how we approached our life together when it comes to money, because money is a big part of any relationship, no matter how you look at it. So we're actually doing much better now. We get through the months fine to the point where
he doesn't have to work the corner as much as he used to.
He wanted a big $250 set from who for your birthday that I just said go ahead and buy it because we had the money for it.
Why you gotta be putting my shit on the street like that?
Who was this thing that you bought it from?
Why you gotta be putting my shit on the street like that?
Because you put me on the street like that. I mean, so
it was from Mob Style.
Mob Style, it's like a collector's thing for his birthday, and we were able to do it. Whereas before, he probably was like, "Oh my god, like I don't know." So that's been a lot of fun. It's just figuring that out, and just dealing with health problems, and
because we're getting old.
We are getting old, y'all. Like, it's not fun. Like, I was fine until I fell off that curb last year. Everything was just cruising, and then your body's like, guess what? You're not going to be the same ever again. Like, he has to massage my ankle because it swells where it fractured. And Dr. Ling told me, she gave me the exercise to do that I do every day. And she was you're going to have to massage it out because you should not be that swollen. You're going to have to do this pretty much for a while. And we've had Phil dealing with back issues and getting injections after injections that just don't work. And so we're doing a whole episode about health insurance and health things coming up. But it was hard. Every time it's like, we're going to film a show, something happens mentally wise that just crashes one of us, or we just get slammed with something. And
there's always some shit around every damn corner.
Yeah, so we ended up, for my birthday, we went to the toy museum and just had people over, just the best time. It wasn't anything major. He felt really bad because he couldn't do anything for my birthday. It's like, it doesn't really matter,
I danced for your birthday.
There's a video on TikTok of him dancing for my birthday.
You were never supposed to.
Just so y'all know. So you should follow me on TikTok. It's Kaiju Labs Media.
No, it's not. It's something else. Don't listen to it.
Kaiju, it's something.
Because he was never supposed to share that.
But he was actually happy
beat you with one of my chains after this. I might beat you with his blaze chain. It's heavy enough.
So, there was that. So we got things back on track, and it was just, let's get over the spring. We had our 5-year anniversary recently. Wedding anniversary. Sorry, let's classify this as wedding anniversaries.
Well, because we've been together longer than that.
We have been. And he actually got wedding rings because, we don't wear rings. And we
got some things slightly nicer.
Yeah, he picked out, stuff for us, and I think mine is next to my bed.
I'm wearing mine, but I'm always...
See, I thought the Castle Grayskull was supposed to be my official wedding ring. He told me got me that, so I'm all for it, yes.
If you're gonna if we're gonna do nice pictures together, for an anniversary, nice rings. All the other days,
I thought the Castle Grayskull one was nice.
It doesn't look like a wedding ring.
It doesn't matter. Wedding rings are artificial construct of things, anyways.
Quit using words you don't understand.
I used them correctly, though, didn't I?
So every now and then, I spec.
What? I used them correctly. Give me the fucking credit. Give me the credit where it's due.
You spec.
Anyways. And so, Phil's been making some more music. Talk about your music a little bit.
I have been making music.
You're almost done with your first EP, you told me.
I am nearing completion of my first EP. I need to go back and clean up vocals on that one song that you want to do a video for, and then I need to finish that last song, and that's my EP.
And I bought him Auto-Tune.
Thank God.
I surprised him with a year subscription to Auto-Tune. It's like, here, now you guys can actually do things.
And of course, it doesn't work with my DAW.
So it works in Audition, though. So that's how they were recording audio, was in Audition. They were putting the music into the singing.
I say of course because I was given the most amazing, insane birthday present in history, which is a Roland Phantom, which is a whole other kind of beast to try and learn how to use. But we get that. I'm all excited. It doesn't work with Reason. And then he's like, hey, I got you Auto-Tune. It doesn't work with Reason. I was like, of course, why would it? Why would anything work with Reason?
Reason doesn't seem to work with anything.
Reason seems to not be very friendly with other stuff.
So, yeah, that's the process of the music there. I've been doing some writing in the background, getting some ideas put together because I got to buy a new screenwriting software because Final Draft is just too expensive. Seriously. Just it's a screenwriting software. You could like Amazon used to have a free one called Storywriter, and I had so many things in Amazon Storywriter, but they shut that down. Like I don't understand why Google and Amazon do these amazing things and then shut them down like just the next day. They're just gone. It never makes any sense to me.
Maybe they weren't making any money off of it.
Well, it was a free service as part of Prime, so they were charging people something for it. But it was great. Anyway, so I gotta get onto that. I have been resin 3D printing and starting to plan out things to sell at like a booth because I'm starting to get all these projects and samples done. And the whole reason
By
why
booth, you mean street corner.
the whole reason why I wanted a 3D print was I wanted to do this Castle Grayskull dice tower, and this thing weighs like what 5 pounds.
Oh, I could give you a concussion with
It's an entire bottle of resin, both pieces of it.
Ooh,
But I finally did it after all of these years, y'all.
good to know I can get your ass under control if you lose your temper. Why does it have that in the front parapet?
Oh, it's just an artifact for 3D printing that I sand down. So it's done, y'all. I finally got it. I did a whole TikTok video about how excited I was.
And then he had to explain to me what a dice roller was.
He's like, what is that? I was like, you put dice in it, bitch, and it comes out the mouth.
never, I always thought you just shook them and threw them. What do I know?
So now I know I need to hollow the outside out and hollow some of the inside out because it's 2 pieces. So yeah, I will be planning on these, but I've got a bunch of projects in there. I've got Quidditch seekers that I'm going to put on things. I've got dice. I've got ornaments. I've got things prototyped, and I bought an air gun I need to learn to use because I've never used an air paint gun. Spray paint, whatever they call them, airbrush.
There you go.
You could have helped me a long time ago instead of staring at me like I'm stupid. Anyways, so I've got that done, and then I told him. He laughs at me and Terry. She's my friend. She's like my hag, and I'm her bitch, apparently. And we are such Disney and like collectorholics. We send stuff back and forth all day long. And I was like, so do you know how every year Terry talks about these Disney yearly releases? Like we have some of the stitches up there from last year's release. I said, I'm going to do this year's Mickey's main attraction. And he's like, oh God, what is it? And I was like, well, it's just Mickey Mouse is themed like the ride. So here's Space Mountain. And then here is the second one, Mickey and Pirates of the Caribbean. So I'm going to do this line this year. I don't normally do the monthly line at all. Like I'll get 1 or 2 of them. But I really want these just because I love Mickey Mouse. Like Terry has all the Minnie Mouses that they were in that from years ago. She did the whole castle collection.
You're just supporting the evil empire.
Most people did something like the stitches were really hit or miss. So I'm glad
I got the best one.
So he got Sleeping Beauty. I got Little Mermaid and Snow White, and I have Peter Pan on the way because one of Terry's friends was at Disney World. They had tons of Peter Pan stitch, so she picked me up one. I'm so excited for that. And so that's part of us getting back to normal life is, we overcame a hurdle and we keep overcoming hurdles. And that's one of the things that we were going to discuss today is kind of how we look at our time together. There have been lots of hurdles, as you've seen, as we've talked in the past, but we kind of look at things very differently when it comes to that. Like, Phil gets really upset. He goes, we've experienced so much loss in the 7 years we've been together. And I'm like, true, but we've also experienced so much positive. And I think he wonders why I see it that way. It's because we didn't meet each other in high school or college. We met each other late in life at a season where people in our family are really old. People in our family are moving on to other things. They're moving to other states, other places.
Other planes of existence.
You're right. So I don't see things that way. Do you want to take over about how you see things?
My losses have been, and I know you're going to hate the way I say it, but mine have been profound losses. Like, to you, loss is loss is loss is loss. But it's not. Everybody experiences loss in their own way, and some losses hit some people one way and some hit another Like everybody experiences it differently. My losing my mom, like that was the worst I had experienced up to that point, and I was sure after that nothing else was ever gonna fuck with me. That was it. That was the worst. And then to lose my sister as quickly as I did, those two things like back to back like that is just, and it was so much shit sandwiched in between and then after. Like, yo, we were talking about it the other day, just like, I guess my family, if they're gonna do shit, they're gonna be dramatic about it. Like with my sister, she died the day before her 32nd birthday. Then I had an aunt, she went to the hospital to sign like do not resuscitate orders for her husband because they were pretty sure that he was on his way out, and she had struggled with it. They were high school sweethearts. They got married as soon as they could legally do it. They had always been together. She goes and signs the paperwork for his DNR, has an aneurysm, drops dead right there in the hospital, and then 3 days later he wakes up. Like, yeah, we've had lots of good, but the losses have been so heavy. It's hard for those not to, like, on the scales, they still just tip.
And see, I look at it very differently. Yes, losses are heavy, and your losses may not feel like my losses, but I have lost as well. I just handle things differently, but that doesn't mean they're any less poignant or impactful. Because, my mom, my aunt, Jordan, my other aunt in California, like, they're losses, and they suck and they hurt. But they hurt you, the world around you doesn't stop. And it sucks that it doesn't, but it's the fact of life. But I also know for every loss we've had so many more blessings. We started doing this show. We have a crazy dog that's fun. You got a phantom for your birthday. We've had major experiences. You got to see King Diamond when you weren't even expecting. You've got to see concerts and movies, and you've gotten to hang out and meet my entire crazy family and just have fun with them. We've had birthdays, we've had holidays. Do I even need to go back to the Gym of the Holograms reveal? I mean, we've had so many blessings as well. You cannot count them out just because you've had loss and you think the loss is the greater of the two. They're not. They're equal. It only feels that way because, and you say, oh, well, your family was, it was hard on you. Losing my aunt was probably the hardest thing on me. But I couldn't be in a place to be unhappy for weeks, months, or years.
Yeah, but we've talked about this, and you don't like that I bring it up. You went years without talking to members of your family. I literally didn't go a day in my life without speaking to my mother. And my sister and I were like twins. Like, if you separated us, we were screaming to be put back together. Like, those, they were, you're like, the world doesn't stop, life has to move on. But for me, a part of my world just suddenly vanished. And
And
so
it
there
did
are these
suddenly
huge
vanish.
holes suddenly gone.
There's a way to handle it and not lose yourself in it. And that's how we look at things very, very differently. I know it does me and everyone around me no good to get lost in it for an extended period of time. There will be times where it'll just pop up and I'll be like, man, I really miss having breakfast tacos. Or I really miss having just a place to go when I just need to decompress. But I know, wow, it sucks that they're gone, but I have you. I know I've got Harley and Joe. I know I've got Andy and Becky, and we have Kelly, and we have, you know, all of these people around us that we need to celebrate. And we need to celebrate those that we've lost instead of mourning them. That's how I look at it. Celebrate the good things, the good times. And so we've had some struggles with that for the past few years. And it's been really hard for me to try to understand, and I let it go. But like you guys saw in season one, I wasn't okay when you left me for 6 months. And I feel like I have to get used to at least a 4 to 6 months period every year where you're just going to not be here because the anniversary of Mona's death. I mean, we're already approaching that right now. And
Yes,
yes,
I
you've been
haven't
handling
gone
it
for 6 months now.
You've been handling it much better, but this is what I have to prepare for. And I'm hoping that it gets to the point where you can handle it in a healthy way and be like, yeah, like we had so much fun having memories about it the other night. I think when Arrow's over here, you guys were talking about all that fun stuff. That's how it should be handled in my world. And my family, we just celebrate. And so we're still coming to grips with this, and we may never see eye to eye on this. But at the same time, I know it's going to be okay because you're here. And one day, you or I may not be here. But I don't want you, if I'm not here, to destroy yourself. I want you to remember everything that we did and every happy moment we had. And be blessed. Yes, all three of them. And be blessed to know you've got to experience that.
You can say all of that, and it all sounds fine, and it's all perfectly logical and rational. I have tried to tell you 100,000 times that doesn't change how my brain and my heart react to things.
I know.
Anxiety is not logical. Depression is not logical. It's not rational.
Whereas in my mind, it's like, you can figure it out. You're a grown ass adult. That's how I always look at everything. And it drives me crazy. It really does, y'all. Like,
because if that were the case, there wouldn't be a need for mental health professionals.
Okay, mental health professionals are supposed to be getting you to a point where you can handle these on your own. I was in fucked up places a long time ago. I was just a fucked up person. And I was on medications and pills, and it drove me crazy knowing the only reason I don't care is because I'm on pills. And that's what my doctor, he hates this. My doctor said, well, if you're smart as nobody, you're smart to get over it.
Your doctor's an idiot.
But that's...
And there would be 1,000 medical providers who would want him to lose his license for saying that.
I stopped taking the pills, and I just learned I have to figure out a way to deal with this. And I deal with it, and then I know it's time to move on.
If that were the case for everybody, we would not have the
system we have.
Spectrum. No, the spectrum of mental health issues and providers and needs that we have. I'm glad that works for you. Sitting and staring at a wall works for you.
I'm not gonna lie, it does.
Not everybody is. That doesn't work for everybody.
So that's the other thing we've dealt with these past few months is just a lot of...
He likes to stare at the wall.
Headbutting over our relationship and how we look at it.
And how I'm always right. You have a hard time with that.
So anyways, we're going to some happier things. We've always told you guys we're going to do Ask Us Anything, so we have a ton of questions. But he has a question for me to start off with, and I have a question for him before I pull out our magic skull of questions. So...
All right, so... think of a fight between, it could be two good guys, two villains, villain and a good guy, whoever. An epic fight from, could be comic books, movie, that you would change, and why and how.
Does that have to be comic book and superhero?
Just don't give me something out of the headlines.
Well... see, this one is a little hard. I always think that Dark Phoenix, the whole saga, should have ended differently. I think in the comics, I don't remember if they killed Jean Grey or not, but they really should have killed her and just let her die. But I think overall, hands down, Superman vs. Doomsday ended fine. They should never have brought Superman back. That's the one change I would have made. As much as I love Superman Blue, I love that design, they should have let Superman stay dead. The ending of that fight, he should have been dead and gone. Period.
Where are the dollar signs in that?
That's my biggest problem with comics, is comics should evolve with times. You shouldn't have a Superman for every generation. You have Superman for a while, then you go on to other characters. Create new. That's what I look at.
We don't do that anymore.
We should. Superman should have stayed dead. It was the biggest... they always cop out in comic books and bring people back. I get it. I don't think they should. But overall...
But I mean, we don't even have to do anything anymore. Every everything that comes out is like, oh, well, when y'all were kids, remember this? Well, here's the new version for kids today.
Yeah.
Instead of a new story.
I would have let him stay dead. I would have stuck to my guns at DC and be like, Superman is gone. It's time to move on. So now for you. You're going to see later this week about how much Phil hates musicals.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
You need to pick one movie that's not a musical and turn it into a musical. Which one would it be?
A movie that's not a musical and turn it into a musical.
I think Inception would make a funny musical.
Oh, it would insist upon itself so much. I mean, you're probably going to argue with me that it almost is one, but Scott Pilgrim.
That could have been more musical, yeah.
I think that could be a musical.
Would you have enjoyed it had it been more of a musical?
No.
This fool right here.
I wouldn't have enjoyed it, but you could do it.
That could work. Okay, so now we're going to ask this question out of the box. You ready for this one?
No.
What is the most absurd thing you've been tricked into doing or believing? Religion. Organized religion.
Oh, I mean, that's not a bad answer.
Organized religion. I was taking the Baptist church as a kid. I was the whole Southern Baptist thing. I realized I didn't agree with what was going on when he was talking about Adam and Eve and early man and drew them. Oh, Donna says hi. Hi, Donna. And drew them as stick figures. Like, I thought early men was apes, and that's when I knew I had a problem with organized religion.
I guess being tricked into believing that you can be anything that you want to be when you grow up.
That is a pretty big lie.
I was tricked, bought it hook, line, and sinker.
That you can be anything when you grow up.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they tell you that, and then they expect you to just fall into a...
I was like, they tell you that, but then they're like, here is your predetermined path for life.
Yeah. And this is what's expected. Okay, you can pick the next question.
Come on, something crazy.
Oh. This should be good.
We know the answer to this one. Would you rather have intelligence over looks?
Oh, I'll go for looks any motherfucking day of the week. Because looks will open so many doors that intelligence doesn't.
Well, I mean, I picked you, so we know the answer to that question.
I mean, think about it.
I went all for looks.
You could be butt dumb stupid and be in a movie. And become a movie star. You can be butt dumb stupid and get people throwing money at you. Look at OnlyFans. Looks get you everything in this world. Intelligence only gets you headaches.
Yes, it gets me lots of headaches.
I guess you would take intelligence. What would you take, looks or intelligence?
I picked you, didn't I? I went for looks all day.
No, what do you want yourself? Looks or...
Which would you... Give me the question?
I'll reread this question for you.
Maybe I read the question wrong. Maybe I'm dumber than I thought.
Would you rather have intelligence over looks?
I thought it meant in a person.
No, in yourself, bitch! I'm shallow as fuck. The only answer to this one for me.
I'd probably go with looks just because I've been smart and it's not all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, it kind of drives you crazy.
I wouldn't know what it's like to be good looking, so that would be an interesting one.
Alright, here we go. What's the craziest bet you've ever made?
Craziest bet I've ever made? Did I even bet?
So, back in the early days of Crazy Me, we had bet we couldn't jump from one car to another when they were moving. I did it.
Because why would...
I jumped from one hood to the other, slid right off the side, yeah. But I did it. There's also time that, Josh Prime is the keeper of the stories. The whole shopping cart in the pool, exploding light bulbs, skateboards down rocky hills. We were Jackass before Jackass happened.
I don't think I've ever...
No one's ever dared you to do something stupid, and then you did it? Who am I talking to? Of course not.
Not that I can think of.
Oh, Captain Boring over here doesn't have any fun stories.
No, I don't. I don't think I do.
Uh-oh. What's this question?
Let's see if I can read it correctly this time. What is the greatest risk you've ever taken?
Oh, there's a lot of risks I've taken in life. Getting with you.
I was going to say walking into AAA on our first date.
Oh yeah, that was the greatest risk. The showing up for the first date with this mofo. And no, I think the greatest risk was it drove my dad crazy that for the longest time we didn't have licenses, but we were still driving. Renegade is what he used to call it. So we would all just go Renegade, and we drive around without licenses and insurance. We had nothing. We were just driving cars.
How hard is it to go get a license?
It's not, but we just didn't do it. Like I had this unnatural fear of the brakes not working, and that is my biggest fear when it comes to cars. So when we had the other car and the brakes started failing and being slower to stop, I panic attacked every time I'd have to stop, and I'd stop way too soon because I have this completely irrational fear that the brakes won't work.
I'm like that too. That's why you're always like, you're braking way too early. Like, nah.
No, you're just an old lady driver. That's why.
No, I'm just making sure the brakes still work and that I can stop in time and I don't crash into nobody.
What about your risk?
Walking into the restaurant to meet your ass.
With that hat on, yes, that was a big risk.
I don't know when you're going to get over this ridiculous thing you have against my hat.
Because your hat is stupid. If you were given the chance to steal something, what would it be? Don't act like you wouldn't go steal something from a library because you're that kind of nerd.
I'm trying to think of something I would want bad enough to steal it.
I would go to whoever that factory that makes the street legal Mach 5s and steal one of those because I will never be able to afford one. That is my dream car, the Mach 5. I would steal the fucking Mach 5 and just drive the fuck away because it's the Mach 5. It can speed. It has working buzzsaws, so fuck you trying to stop me.
And it probably has a monkey in it too.
And they're throwing poo from the trunk? Yeah, probably. Are you such a goody you wouldn't steal anything? You wouldn't steal some rare-ass book or some painting or some fucking manuscript of unreleased music somewhere?
No.
You wouldn't steal a pep shop boy to come be a producer? Like, you would steal nothing? I am with a goddamn Boy Scout. When the fuck did... Well, I kind of do it, but when the fuck did this happen?
I was about to say, how long have you known me?
You wouldn't steal anything. We're just going to take that as a no, y'all.
I can't think of anything I would steal.
Question. We'll do a couple more of these before we decide to wrap up this kickoff party for season 2.
It thinks I'm so boring. How many times has your heart been broken?
You go first.
Why do I have to go first?
Because I'm always going first.
Is the answer 0 for you?
No. It was broken.
Let's see. 1.
She has to count them out. Let's
2,
see here.
3, 4, 5.
Okay, well, he's counting his
6.
history. 6 goddamn times?
Yeah, 6.
I was only twice.
It better not have been because like a movie got canceled or something.
No. My heart is always broken when I think about how I failed my child. I left him where I thought he should be for the best, and over time, I don't think it was the best, but it was. I just, I missed out on school parties. I missed out on PTA. I missed out on first games, first dates. I missed out on everything I dreamed about, and that is my biggest heartache.
Well, he still hasn't had his first date, so that could be on that.
I know, but he was very much my kid until I went to jail. I was a stay-at-home dad. I've got a whole book full of pictures I need to get from Jacqueline so you could see. And Patricia was there. She took some of the best pictures of Bubbles. It's just he was my little me. And life happened and we weren't together. And I mean, he's living a good life and he's taken care of, but I would have made very different decisions, and I missed out on a lot.
Yeah, I would have run off and joined the circus.
Oh, we would have fucking been circus junkies in a heartbeat. We so would have been. I won't even get into your heartbreak because it's probably all because I was with the straight dude who left me.
That was several of them.
Oh my god. Alright, so we're gonna do a couple more questions. This was fun. What would you be if you had to wear one Halloween costume every day for the rest of your life?
What kind of question is that?
Well, it's a very simple question. If you had to wear one Halloween costume for the rest of your life, what would it be? I would be Fred Flintstone. It's airy and comfortable. You can move in it. It comes with a tie, so it's business ready. It's got no sleeves for the summer, and its leather is thick enough for the cold winter. You can just kind of bundle up in it. Fred Flintstone's costume. Multi-purpose, y'all.
I'd wear a toga.
Smart, make music, things like that. Comfortable. Easy enough for you to flip up and bend over when you're in the mood.
Oh my god. There you go again. Can't take you anywhere.
Oh, we're awful people.
Oh yeah. Out of the 4 seasons, what's your favorite one? I mean, obviously Frankie Valli. There's no question.
The 4 seasons?
Never mind, but the joke that went over. This is why I say I went for looks.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Frankie Valli and the 4 Seasons.
Who the fuck is that?
Oh, you know musicals? You've heard of Jersey Boys?
Yeah.
It's based on Frankie Valli and the 4 Seasons.
I haven't watched it.
He had a long string of pop hits.
When? In the 30s?
In the 60s.
Oh, those, I don't.
On the Grease soundtrack, he sings on that. Grease is
I couldn't tell you who sings on that. Out the side of
That's Frankie Valli.
the main characters. Okay.
He also had Walk Like a Man.
All right. So season-wise, I'll tell you right now, his favorite season is winter.
Yes.
Do you know what mine is?
Probably spring.
Ta-da! Do you know why?
Did you get to go ta-da?
No, because it's colorful. I like the colors. And it's comfortable enough for you to go outside and not complain about Texas heat yet.
Oh no, it's hot in spring.
I hope that car gets in a wreck. It's that stupid car again.
Don't say hateful shit.
All right, last question. All right. Where would you relocate to if you were forced to leave the country?
Vietnam or Italy?
Vietnam.
I could have pho every day.
You can make pho every day.
It's not like they make pho.
Vietnam.
Or Italy. I like Italy.
I could do Italy. I'd really want to go to Japan, but there's no way. Like, we were watching a ramen documentary today. Everything's so small, we wouldn't fit into anything.
I know. Like I was watching that. It's on Hulu. It's called Ramen Heads. I was just like, oh man, that would be so amazing. Except me and Gavin would have to like buy out the whole restaurant for our lunch period.
Like, their bathtubs are the size of my foot. Like, y'all.
Like, my brother is thin, but he's taller than me. But when he would go to Japan, even when he was thin, he was too big for everything. He didn't fit anywhere. And they couldn't make him meals big enough. Like, no matter how much he would order, it was like, oh, well, this is normal for normal people.
Yeah, I like Italy. I would go with Italy just because everything. The cuisine, the art, the architecture. Like, I would love to live...
My Latin would finally be useful.
Finally.
Shut up, bitch.
So anyways, we're going to do more Ask Us Anything questions. We'll probably do them live when we do them because it's more fun doing live. But that's been it for our kickoff party for Season 2. Sorry it took so long. We just wanted to do a live show to get caught up with you guys and see things. So we do have shows all week. We may or may not have shows next week, depending on if we leave town this weekend, because I was not aware we were leaving town this weekend.
Even though we've talked about it more than once.
Yeah, so we may not have shows next week because we just figure if I can film any during the week as opposed to next week. But we do have hilarious ass shows for you this week. We've got Phil Hates Musicals. We've got The Rules of Being Gay, both of them with cousin Gina. She's on with us. Her facial expressions alone are priceless.
Yeah.
Talk about how Phil's holding a grudge, and then we just talk about our movies we saw while we were gone and what we thought.
Yes.
So that's all week long at 7 o'clock is our new release time, 7 p.m. In the evenings, you can catch us live. We release them. Just have fun with them. Next Monday is the official kickoff of our new game night with Harley and Jill and Griffin. We are starting Gloomhaven. And you can watch all that unfold live. It's going to be definitely something. So Mondays, our show will probably come out earlier so it doesn't conflict with game night. But we're excited to start Gloomhaven. We're excited to get into season 2. We've got a whole new list of things to talk about, so it's going to be quite fun. You don't look like you're excited at all. Blink, blink, blink. Yeah, at least cheer some, bitch. You know. Woo.
It's different.
Different. All right, so thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned. We have episodes, and just comment. Let us know what you think. Share it. Comment, like, subscribe wherever you're watching. Comment, really interact with us. Especially when we're live. It was fun talking to Darla and whoever else was on here. We do this because we want to do it and have fun and let you in our lives. And we will get more personal. We will have happy days. We'll have sad days. We'll have jokey days. You can guarantee we're going to go off on some fucking tangents. I'm just going to tell you that right now. And we always end up coming back to the general thing, and you'll see more guests. One of the things I do want to do this year is during the summer I want to do a big family gathering and have everyone in their little screens. And you got Andy and John, Becky and Shiley, Harley and Jill, me and you, a bunch of geeky couples just geeking out and talking.
More?
What? With that, y'all, this is what let's put up with. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you guys all week at 7. Let us know what you think. But I'm going to go ahead and get this thing ready to turn off.